Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever wondered what it feels like when a digital asset you've been watching for years suddenly, well, blasts past all expectations? Today, we're taking a deep dive into exactly that scenario with XRP, the native token of the Ripple ecosystem.
Yes.
It's just hit a significant new all-time high.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And beyond just the price, what's truly compelling here is, understanding the complex journey this asset has taken, thinking about the specific data points that contributed to this sudden surge, and importantly, what leading analysts are now projecting for its future.
Right. Our sources for this deep dive are a mix of real-time market updates and some pretty detailed expert analysis. We want to give you a complete and informed picture. So kicking us off with the headline fact, XRP has surged past $3.60 according to CoinDeco and other major exchanges. But the deeper story here, what truly makes this moment stand out, well, this isn't just any jump. This is a breakthrough, really, 7 years in the making.
That's exactly right. The concept of an all-time high in this market, it can sometimes be debated a bit. Different data aggregators might show slightly varying numbers. However, breaking above $3.60 represents a clear new record. It surpasses the previous peak, which was around $3.40. And crucially, this new high, it's confirmed across major platforms like Coinbase, Binance, and Bitstamp. That lends significant credibility to the movement, you see. And what's really paramount to understand is that this surge isn't just like random market speculation. For years, XRP faced these significant regulatory headwinds, right? Most notably that long-standing SEC lawsuit. It cast a considerable shadow over its development and adoption. So recent legal clarity seems to have effectively unlocked pent-up demand and validated its underlying utility. It removed a major overhang that kept its price suppressed for so long. That's really the core why behind this breakout. It's testament to its resilience, maybe a vindication of its utility after years of, well, uncertainty.
That context really does put this moment into perspective.
Wow. And you can imagine the excitement, the community around XRP. They're often called the XRP Army, a famously passionate and very vocal group of supporters. They must be thrilled. Their social media channels are absolutely buzzing. Lots of I told you so's and even more, massive price predictions swirling around.
Absolutely. The buzz is huge.
That sounds like a lot of excitement, yeah. And it's easy to get swept up in the fervor sometimes. But historically, we've often seen surges like this followed by, well, corrections. What, if any, cautionary notes should listeners maybe consider amidst all this celebration? Is there a risk of this just being a short-term pump, or do the underlying fundamentals suggest more sustained growth? That's a crucial question, definitely. While the social buzz is undeniable, the tangible impact is equally important to look at. The market capitalization itself has set a new record, soaring beyond $210 billion. Now, while this rise is kind of expected with such a significant price move, the question of sustainability, it really comes down to those underlying drivers we just discussed, the regulatory clarity, renewed institutional interest perhaps,
Yeah.
rather than just speculative retail trading.
Okay, that makes sense. So, beyond the general market sentiment, what do the analytical pros have to say? We've got some fascinating insights from a popular analyst, Ali Martinez. He has a huge following, over 140,000 on X.
Yeah, Ali Martinez. Interestingly, he had indicated just last week when XRP was kind of struggling around $2.20 that it was, quote, about to rip, and many traders would miss it. Now he's celebrating the move naturally and pointing to specific on-chain signals that seem to suggest further gains might be right around the corner.
Yeah.
Specifically, he's noted things like a significant increase in whale accumulation and network transaction volume. Those metrics often precede major price movements.
Right, the on-chain stuff.
So what does this all mean for what's next then? This analyst, Martinez, he explicitly stated that if XRP manages to close above $3 and, crucially, maintain its position above its all-time high, it could shoot up to $4.80. That's a pretty impressive target. What would need to happen for that prediction to actually materialize? Are there specific milestones or market conditions that would support such a rapid climb?
Well, his sentiment is pretty clear. He shared publicly on X that XRP just hit a new all-time high and it's just getting started. For that $4.80 target to materialize, we'd likely need to see continued strong demand, maybe more institutional inflows, as you mentioned, and of course, no major negative shifts in the overall market. The key thing seems to be that the primary regulatory hurdle, that big one, appears to be addressed. And historically, that's been the main barrier holding back XRP's full potential. Okay, so with all this market activity and the renewed interest in digital assets like XRP, some of you listening might be wondering about, well, practical ways to maybe get involved responsibly. We actually highlighted some resources from our source material that could be helpful if you're looking to explore the space. For example, There are welcome offers, like a $600 exclusive offer mentioned for Binance, and a $500 free position on any asset at Bybit. So if you're not already set up on a major exchange, these could be, decent starting points to explore. All the specific details and the links for these offers, they're right there in the description for this deep dive.
Right. And just to add, if you want to keep up with these kinds of fast-moving market insights, you can also join our community. There's a link to our Telegram channel in the description, too. You can get even more real-time updates and discussions there.
Good point. So to recap everything, XRP's surge past $3.60 marks a truly historic moment. It doesn't seem like just a fleeting price pump. It appears fueled by years of development, that significant recent regulatory clarity we discussed, and is validated by strong analyst predictions pointing to even further potential. It feels like its long journey is finally reaching a new milestone.
It really does. And this raises an important question, I think, for you listening to consider. As digital assets continue to mature, what role do community sentiment, expert analysis, and crucially, that legal and regulatory clarity play in shaping these truly unprecedented market movements and ultimately unlocking an asset's full potential? Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. We hope this deep dive helped you get quickly informed on this really fascinating development with XRP. If you enjoyed this exploration, please do consider subscribing to our channel, maybe giving us a like, and definitely hitting that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future deep dives.